Welcome back, Commanders. It is Jaws Munch, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Frontline. This is a beginner's guide to how to play Frontline in multiplayer for Beyond All Reason. I would not recommend that you jump into multiplayer until you have done a little bit of research on slight economy scaling, just a little bit, and then also understand how to do a proper opening. This is a proper opening that I'm doing here. We're getting up to 60 energy. We build 2 metal extractors, 2 windmills, our third metal extractor, 2 more windmills, and that gets us up to at least 60 energy income, and then we're going into a vehicle lab. But we're going to be focusing mainly on what is your goal as a frontliner and how to play it properly. So I'm going to be starting off with a construction vehicle, and you can see here that I have a list of units that I already want to build, and they are in my mind of what my strategy is going to be going forward. And this is kind of how you want to begin as a frontliner, is what is your actual strategy that you wish to go forward with. It's always best to go into the game with some predetermined idea of how you want to aggress as the front line. Now, your main goal, aside from expansion, just blanketly expanding both energy and metal extractors, your main goal really is to, at minimum, this is the bare minimum, hold your center on your front line. This is the minimum that you should be striving for the entire game while you are a frontliner. I noticed that some players, sometimes they'll be a little bit shy. They'll try to hold a little bit behind their front line, behind the center, because it feels safer, and they have allies on this side and allies on this side, and they feel a little bit more protected. But your goal is to hold to the center of the map, the middle line. So it's good to go out and just get an idea. What is my center, and where should I hold up to? And just even draw that line there if you need to. All right, first off, I got out a construction unit. I know we skipped some of this, but this construction unit is going to be building a construction turret, and that will ramp up our build power so that we have all the build power we need early on as we're pumping out units. I have a couple defensive blitzes here because we're in the early expansion of the game. We have to be very cautious. There could be scouts that run by, ticks, rovers, other different types of smaller units that can come through, and they're going to try to kill our metal extractors. So we need to make sure that we have mobile units that are relatively cheap to be able to defend our early expansion properly without losing these valuable metal extractors. All right, so you can see I'm working my way to the front line. I am taking a path of metal extractor to metal extractor, working my commander up to the front. And this is highly recommended, in my opinion. The commander has a powerful D-gun, he has 300 build power, and he also has a laser turret and can build other light lasers turrets on the front line relatively easily. So it's very important to try to get your commander up to the front as quickly as possible. And the build power that he has is exceptional at 300, and that means that he's going to very easily be able to repair any units that receives any amount of damage on the front line, and he can do it rapidly. It's kind of like having a mobile build turret, honestly. So very, very strong. Now, I got out another construction unit, and this guy is going to be building the leftover metal extractors that my commander hasn't gotten to yet. So we're trying to fill in all of those blanks as quickly as possible. Metal extractors are the key to getting metal income, and if you don't have it, and you don't have it quickly, then you're probably going to not have enough metal to sustain your front line. You can also see here that we are producing energy as well. We are scaling wind power because our wind speed is at a average of 11.9, basically 12. That's really good average wind speed. And so the wind risk is quite low on glitters, and so that's why we're going to be scaling mostly into wind speed. So you can see our commanders on the front line here. We have a couple defensive turrets planned out, and we have all of our smaller scout units that we have brought to the front line, and thankfully we didn't have too many leaks or anything, and all of these metal extractors were able to be claimed relatively easily without any issues. And then next we're going to be building the radar. That way we have a chance to get vision of what our opponents are doing. So this radar tower is going to cover all of this area and give us an idea of where our opponents are. And we're scouting, just kind of verifying where is he setting up his front line, so that we have information. We have really good information now. We know he's building LTs, we know his commander is at the front, and we have our front line well established, okay? And I'm gonna keep my factory on repeat. The reason why I want it on repeat is because I don't want to have to constantly come back to my factory and think, what should I be building? I already know what I want to build. I'm going to just keep building that on repeat over and over. So what repeat command does is it will take your stout, it'll build 2 of them. Take your Janus, build 1 of them. Take your blitzes, build 5. Then it will repeat that same order and do stout, Janus, and blitz. Now there's another command that I want to make a video on. I'm not doing it yet, but it is called Q mode. This is an exceptionally powerful command that I do want to talk about later, and I need to get into the habit of using, because this is a game-changing mode. So look into it if you want later, and if you start using it on the battlefield, I think you're going to have a lot of success with it. Anyway, so we're just maintaining our front line. I am fairly confident I'll be able to outscale him because of how quickly I got my metal extractors up. I had a constructor over here helping me get them up quickly, and my commander went up very rapidly. So I probably have more metal extractors than he does. Let's take a look at his base. He has actually most of them fully built, but his person next to him, who's this pink zipper, or no, Sweep P. Yeah, Sweep P did not get all of his built, so that's going to be unfortunate for Sweep P. But yeah, so Peter Pitt is doing quite well. He is holding quite well, and you can see he's built a lot more into defense. He has a construction turret, a sneaky Pete, a beamer turret, and he's also going for some pop-up turrets. Now, this is going to be tough to break, but turrets are relatively weak as far as health goes. They're not meant to like take the brunt of the attack, but they do have a lot better damage per second than most of your physical units that you can build. But we're just going to be getting everything locked down here, getting our own construction turret. This is just going to help us repair, because my goal, honestly, is to siege him, to push in and kill him. And I find that using just Stouts and Janus combo is very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Those Janus do tremendous damage to every unit that it hits, and it's also a very large blast of a hit as well. He's brought in artillery, so he's planning on sieging me with his artillery, and this is why you have light units. So light units, there's a big gap here, and we're going to push in. He has to back off to catch this light attack. He has to. And so we can push in and just siege his front line here, wipe out all of his construction he's built, kill all of his defenses, and then get all of the metal from it as well. So this was an extremely good play. We distracted him with the blitzes, and I think we caused him to probably just end the game here. Yeah, he left. He got frustrated and left. And I don't blame him. That's a very frustrating thing to have. So if you see someone porking up, if you have opportunity, try to send some units around them, and just look for ways to abuse your opponent. Now, all of this was possible because I knew in the beginning that I had a strategy to push my opponent and try to win T1. I wasn't going to be setting up defenses. I wasn't going to be building anything ranged. I was focusing entirely on T1. And so now we have extra ground, and we also have our commander getting all of this metal from the front line. So that'll give us a ton of value, and we're going to go and reclaim this metal for ourselves. So I think we probably have our T2 on its way relatively soon. And this is kind of the stage where you'll want to go T2 is after winning such a big fight, especially if you were pumping so much metal into T1. Going for T2 now is an exceptional idea because we just got so much metal value from this win. And there's basically, yeah, we basically won the front line. Now, this is a prime example of like a really good win. It's not always going to be this easy. And honestly, there's going to be games where you're struggling to be able to push in. And this is why you want to develop a strategy. Am I playing for all-in aggression? Am I playing defensive, kind of more scaling? As a frontline player, you have to determine what is your strategy going in. Because another strategy for me would have been to just like build a couple walls here, set up my tanks along these walls, and the walls will absorb most of the damage. Maybe get like 4 artillery pieces back here, and I can zone my opponent out further away and absorb hits and just hold a solid line, make it exceptionally difficult for him to push into me. And that's another strategy. And then after this is solidly set up, I can just come back to my base and purchase T2, turn off all of my unit production because I don't need them anymore because I have a solid front line, and then scale, and then push really hard in T2. Or you could determine, maybe I don't want to push hard in T2. Maybe I want to go all the way to T3. So then you might build some T2 defenses up here, like the rattlesnake, a couple pop-up turrets that will create a very rigid front line that will zone your opponent out pretty well. And you could probably go T3 at that point after getting a couple advanced fusions. So these are the strategies you need to have in your mind when you're playing Frontline. Is what is your goal? What are you attempting to achieve in this game? And even working with your allies, letting them know, hey, Maverick, can you push up with me? Can you come and put pressure on this side as well? Because I just punched through here, so you have an opening as well, and we can both push the canyon together. Working together as a team is really, really powerful in this game. It is a team game. There are 8 players, and communicating your thoughts and your strategies with them before the game even starts is a valuable thing for a frontliner to do. Anyway, I hope you found this helpful. I hope that this gave you a little bit of a vision for how to play Frontline, and that you can learn how to abuse some of these different strategies in your own games. If you found it valuable and you got some value from it, please leave a like. Likes help out tremendously at boosting the algorithm and helping the channel grow. And also, if you want to see more tips, please subscribe. Really appreciate it, and I will see you guys on the battlefield.